Hey everyone, I'm Isaac and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2025. In case you couldn't already tell, I'm here for the Dogman movie, and I got Dogman and Petey with me. You excited for this, Dogman? Okay, and how about you, Petey Davidson?
So my doctor told me I don't have AIDS, I just look like I have it.
Wonderful. Alright, time to watch the movie. That was pretty good.
I wasn't sure this day would come for a while, but after spending a few years in development hell, DreamWorks is finally unleashing Dogman onto the big screen. And this isn't the first time they collaborated with Dave Pilkey either, as back in 2017 they released Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. As a movie, it's undeniably silly and immature, but really fun nonetheless. But as an adaptation of a book series that has meant so much to me growing up,
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
There was also a show on Netflix, which was okay I guess, but seriously Universal, why couldn't this have gotten a sequel? I get that franchises like Trolls and Boss Baby tend to be more profitable, and it's nice that you're also shining a light on movies that deserve continuations like The Bad Guys and The Wild Robot, but there's so much franchise potential in this movie. It shouldn't be that hard to give it a follow-up unlike what you did with Megamind. But seeing as how this is an adaptation of Dave Pilkey's other big series, I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much. And on that merit alone, I was really excited. So much so that once the trailer came out, I collaborated with the extremely talented Crazy Gamer Inc. to talk about it. He also made a review on this movie if you want to go check that out. That brings us to today, where Dogman is finally out after Universal barely marketed it at all. I'm worried that this might be turning into a pattern for the stuff they release from DreamWorks. Regardless, I'm happy to say that it was really good both as a movie and as an adaptation. Just to recap the story of Dogman real quick, it's about a police officer and his dog getting injured from a bomb explosion. The nurse decides to fuse their bodies together, and this works. His main enemy is a criminal cat named Petey who one day tries to clone himself, but his clone self is nice and ends up changing the lives of both his creator and his friend. It's a very loyal adaptation with tons of references to the source material, making it very clear that the people working on it did their homework and wanted it to be the best representation of Dave Pilkey's work that it could be. And while the pacing can be a bit breakneck at times and some of the subplots weren't very necessary, it's decently written and thoroughly engaging throughout. The chaotic tone surprisingly works really well for this film, and that's especially present in the humor. From exaggerated physical comedy to witty dialogue to the sheer absurdity of it all, there was no shortage of moments that got some good laughs out of me. And surprisingly enough, it knows when to slow things down with some of the character moments, especially involving Dogman and Petey's relationship with Lil Petey. And I'm gonna admit, there were some moments between them that I found really touching. Part of what makes the characters so enjoyable would definitely be the voice acting. For one, I'm really happy that they kept Dogman as a silent protagonist and didn't shoehorn in some random celebrity to voice him. It's small stuff like this that reminds me of the dedication the crew had towards making this the best adaptation it could be. As for the characters who talk, however, their voice actors did a really good job. I especially gotta give props to Pete Davidson, who may not have been my first choice for Petey, but this is honestly a career best performance for him. I also gotta give credit to Lil Rel Howery and Isla Fisher as Chief and Sarah respectively, as they put a lot of energy into their characters that helps me to know that they were having fun doing this. But the biggest highlight beyond the faithfulness to the source material would be the animation. Captain Underpants already did a great job translating the art style of the books into a three-dimensional environment while sort of serving as a precursor to the stylized animation we've been getting ever since Spider-Verse, but I honestly think that from a visual standpoint, Dogman was significantly better. It's really cool seeing DreamWorks be more experimental with their animation through stuff like The Bad Guys, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and The Wild Robot, and Dogman is no exception. It perfectly captures the look of Dave Pilkey's drawings with some superb art direction and production design, on top of the energetic character movements and creative usage of on-screen text. And this is all the more apparent with the action. The animators pulled out all the stops to deliver some insane and exciting fights between Dogman and whatever bad guy he's going against, and they supply some of the best moments of the film. Not to mention, the score by Ted Lasso composer Tom Howe is really fun and fits the energetic tone of the film really well. I wish I could say more, but I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, and this movie is definitely worth checking out. I plan to make a longer video on it at a later date, however, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Dogman is a really good movie. It may not be perfect and the chaotic presentation can sometimes lead to it feeling messy and disorganized, but the fantastic animation and profound loyalty to the source material make for one of the best theater experiences I've had in quite some time. Also, before the movie starts, a Bad Guys short would play called Little Lies and Alibis. This is obviously to hype up the sequel coming out in how many months? And it was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm gonna give Dogman an 8 out of 10. Here's hoping it gets enough attention for a sequel and that Piggy is voiced by Dean Norris.
Sussy baka.
Next time, I'll be talking about Companion. I didn't know too much about this film before watching it, but I'm gonna be frank, it was really good. So if you're excited for that video and want to see others like it, then consider subscribing to the Isaac Carthy channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.